Hello, I'm the general manager for the Portland Trail Blazers, and I'd like to thank you for meeting with us. We have a pair of picks in the lottery at the 6th and 11th slots and would like to ask you a few questions. Aside from a few veterans, this is a very young team. We're bringing in a lot of young talent this offseason, and it won't be easy to get this team back into the playoffs immediately. Are you willing to take your lumps as a team in order to grow as a core along with all the other young talent the Blazers have?
Yeah, I definitely am. I don't want to ever get comfortable with winning, but you've shown over the years that you have a strong culture of winning here in Portland. I'm willing to go through the growing pains of being a young team if it means we'll be that much tighter of a unit down the road. You feel me?
Interesting. Next question. This question is a tough one to ask, as there really isn't a right or wrong answer. Over the last couple of years, we've had entire seasons washed out by insurmountable injuries. As a franchise, we're becoming more conscious on injury histories and what that means for our draft picks. What can you tell us about your injury history and, more importantly, your ability to play through pain?
I've had some twists and sprains on my way to the top. Who hasn't? The important thing is that I never let it jeopardize my career. I've seen the injuries you've had to guys like Odin and B. Roy. Those guys tried to rush back too quick, and look where they are now. I'll never let that happen to me, regardless of what any team doctor tells me.
Well, that didn't go quite as I expected. We'll see you at the draft. Greetings, I'm the GM and Director of Player Personnel for the Detroit Pistons. We're picking 9th in the upcoming draft. We love what we saw in you and want to ask you some questions to see how well you'd fit in with us. Question number 1. The team that we built here in Detroit was a rebuilding effort that didn't quite pan out. Obviously, it's difficult to predict the future, but I expect to see a fair amount of roster turnover as we work towards retooling the lineup for another rebuilding effort. How comfortable would you feel coming into a situation where the roster is in a state of flux?
It sounds to me like you're asking if I'm comfortable losing in the short term. Sure, I can handle that for a little while as I learn the NBA game. It's not the biggest motivator in the world, but if you're telling me that you guys have a master plan, I can definitely get on board with that as long as it doesn't hold my game back.
All right then, one more. This is a question we ask all our potential draftees, and I want you to answer it as honestly as possible. Where do you see your career going? What do you hope to achieve out of your career? Ultimately, what do you want your legacy to be?
Me? I want to be the greatest of all time. If anyone answers you differently, well, they're either lying to you or they don't have the competitive fire to be great. I don't want to be great. I want to be the greatest. I want rings. I want MVP awards. All of those accolades. I want people to talk about me 50 years from now, and they will. Just watch, man. I've got the fire. I've got the drive, and you know what? I'm ready.
Thanks so much for your time. I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but we would be ecstatic if you're still on board when it's our turn to pick.
Hello and nice to meet you. I'm the Director of Player Personnel for the Rockets. We are strongly considering drafting you with the 12th pick in the upcoming draft, but we'd first like to ask a couple questions about how you'd fit in here before we take that step. First question. Do you feel pressure to be good right away in this league?
Nah, I won't feel any pressure to be good right away. I understand the NBA has the greatest basketball players in the world. I get that. There'll definitely be a learning curve to the level of play here. I'll adjust in time, and when I do adjust, watch out, baby.
Next question. How important is it for you to be a lottery pick in the draft?
Honestly, I don't really care. I'm more concerned with going to the right team than I am going as high as possible. I want to play for someone who's going to utilize me to the best of my abilities. Someone who's going to use me to put the team into a position to win games. You heard?
Okay, that's all I have. I love what I heard here. We would love to have you join us. We'll be in touch.
Good evening and welcome to the 2012 NBA Draft. For 60 of the world's most talented and dedicated young players, tonight marks the culmination of years of hard work as their dream of playing in the NBA moves closer to reality. To all of the fans watching around the world and to those here with us tonight, thank you for joining us. And now to the task at hand. With the first pick in the 2012 NBA Draft, the New Orleans Hornets select Anthony Davis from the University of Kentucky. With the second pick in the 2012 NBA Draft, the Charlotte Bobcats select Michael Kidd-Gilchrist from the University of Kentucky. With the third pick in the 2012 NBA Draft, the Washington Wizards select Bradley Beal from the University of Florida. With the fourth pick in the 2012 NBA Draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Dion Waiters from Syracuse University. With the fifth pick in the 2012 NBA Draft, the Sacramento Kings select Thomas Robinson from the University of Kansas. With the sixth pick in the 2012 NBA Draft, the Portland Trail Blazers select Damian Lillard from Weber State University. With the seventh pick in the 2012 NBA Draft, the Golden State Warriors select Harrison Barnes from the University of North Carolina. With the eighth pick in the 2012 NBA Draft, the Toronto Raptors select Terrence Ross from the University of Washington. With the ninth pick in the 2012 NBA Draft, the Detroit Pistons select the 19-year-old point guard from the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff,